So, brothers and sisters, on October 1st, 2015, when I was driving back to New York from our last NAMMA conference in Montreal, Canada, that was when I first heard on the radio that a ship had gone missing off the coast of the Bahamas in Hurricane Joaquin. And you know that feeling you get in the pit of your stomach when you just know something bad is going on? Well, I drove home with that apprehension all the way back to New York, and then my phone started to light up, and it was confirmed to me that it was an American flag ship called the El Faro. We held out hope for a miracle for several days, but on October 5th, the United States Coast Guard, who had done such a valiant, brilliant job trying to find her, announced that the El Faro was lost at sea and her entire crew was perished. 33 Americans, 33 crew, 28 Americans, 5 Polish nationals, 20 unlicensed crew members on that ship were members of the Seafarers International Union, and my guys. After the dark days that followed, our small and very caring maritime community came together in such a wonderful way, including so many in this room. We will be forever grateful to the maritime centers around the country, especially Florida, who came to our halls and held vigils and services for the families and for our members, and it provided great comfort. I personally would like to thank Marsh Dredge from the Seafarers House in New York, who came to my hall in Jersey City and held a beautiful service for the SIU, and it provided great comfort to me personally, and I know it provided great comfort to the members of the Seafarers. So, it was the great outpouring of love and caring in the aftermath of the El Faro tragedy that really demonstrated that even though life as a seafarer can be lonely and an isolating career, as we've talked about here, there is a vast network of wonderful and caring people, especially in all the seaman centers around the world, who will be there when the storm sets in and the seas get rough. So thank you for what you do, for what you did for the El Faro, and please keep her and her crew in your everyday prayers. So what's happening today for shipping and seafarers from a labor perspective? American and international shipping faces many challenges, but from a labor perspective, there is good news. Across our country, in San Diego and Philadelphia, at the NASCO yards, there are all sorts of new ships being built, a lot of new LNG ships, the Jones Act tankers and tugs and ATBs. They're being constructed on a regular basis now, and there will be many seagoing jobs associated with them. The U.S. maritime industry enjoys many friends in elevated places up on Capitol Hill, in all our ports, in the U.S. military, and in the administration. All of these entities have made it abundantly clear that our armed forces and our national security depend on a viable and thriving American flag fleet. There is great unity across all sectors of the American flag industry, but there are many challenges. But we believe there is nothing facing our industry that we can't handle as long as we continue to enjoy that strong support. But there is a real challenge to individual seafarers right now, and it's growing, and that is that there is a real strain on manpower availability, and that is finding qualified seafarers who still want to go to sea. It is becoming harder and harder to attract and retain qualified and trained seamen. There are a lot of barriers to getting into the industry and to staying in the industry. The regulatory requirements for your merchant seaman's documents, the TWIC documents, your passports. It is costly also for the training and, again, for all of those credentials. The improving economy is also a factor. A lot of our mariners are starting to retire or just choosing not to go to sea. I learned just recently that even the maritime academies are graduating, a whole sector of their classes who are graduating who have no intention of ever going to sea. So we think there is good news and we think there is work, but we are going to need new recruits. So again, in our community, if you know of some young person who's bouncing around, not quite sure what they want to do with their life, like I was at 23, and they're seeking a real challenge, and it is a challenge, send them our way. Talk to me about the SIU the SIU and all the U.S. maritime unions all have really amazing schools and training facilities, and we know this group really knows that it's a perilous job, but it also can be a deeply rewarding career, a noble career, and so we are looking for folks. It's a career to be proud of, I think. So, once again, thank you all for what you do for seafarers everywhere. It is so meaningful, as Sean knows, and we do know. And every ship I go on, the guys all tell me how important the Seaman Centers are to them. They're always very impressed lately when they know that I work with NAMMA. So I just want you to know how much your work is appreciated. Thank you so much.